Time to run them lights up. Let's go. Let's go. It's time to run them lights up. Man. It's time to run them lights up. One time for your mind, two times for your brain. We up in this thing, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, 42-6 was the final. What do we take from it? What do we take from it? Of course, you got the Colorado fans who's going to gleam and be all happy in this with this win right here. But what do we take from it? What do the Buffs take from it? What do Coach Prime take from it? What changes can they make? What personnel situations were a little bit different? Anything was surprising to them? Should the coaches make any type of changes? Should it be any type of panicking going on, and so to speak, at any point right now? So let me know where you're checking in from, how you checking in, how you listening in. We got some things to discuss right now. What's next for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes? You feel me? I want to know what you guys think, and we're gonna go from there. We could take some invites. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the chat real quick, like, so if you want to come on and give your call in, basically, you can. I'm gonna put it right here in the chat. Call in. Wow. There's the link to call in nowadays. No need for a number. Just click on that link and you'll be able to call in and give me your opinions on what you think, what went on, how it went on. I will tell you one good thing for sure, and that is special teams. Special teams is something that I'm surprised has been such a big issue. I mean, same thing at JSU. Did somebody just say, just forgot about JSU, hunt, laugh out loud? Lord have mercy. I'm covering Coach Prime, dog. Shouts out to JSU, though, for whatever went on today. I didn't check the scores, but I know last week they got beat 70. They gave us 77 points last week. That's okay. Come back this week, bounce back better. Get better. Hopefully they got a win this week, and so on. But we're talking about Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes going up there to Oregon, Eugene, Oregon, to be exact, to Austin Stadium, where they were the first team to get a win there. Actually, when the stadium first opened back in, 57 or 67, one of those days. But this time they went up there and got a good old-fashioned butt whooping, as Coach Prime said himself in the press conference. I said as soon as the game was over with that we got beat in all phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. But there are some things that we need to improve mightily. There are some guys that need to be playing that maybe is not playing or haven't played or plays at the end of the game. And I was wondering, why are they playing at the end of the game and not the beginning of the game? Shouts out to my guy B Wilk out in Colorado. What's up, my guy? It says, hey, big dog, my optimism hasn't been tarnished one bit. I picked them to win 8. That means they lose 4. They're already at 3 wins. It's not time to lose hope. Just relax and enjoy the revolution. Exactly. I agree. I like that. You know what I mean? You got them to win 8 games. Me personally, I'm looking for them to dominate each and every game. I wanted them to dominate this game. So, like you said, don't panic, though. It's just one loss. And we move on to the next game. I just want to see improvements and what can we do to improve. Because if I'm the next team coming up, if I'm USC, I'm damn near going to run the same plays I saw Oregon run. I don't want to see nothing different. Let me run the same plays and let them prove that they can stop it, because I'm coming with the same type of personnel, right? If I'm USC, I'm coming with the same type of personnel, so I'm going to probably run the same type plays and formations. That's just me. That's just what I'm thinking. Right. So if I'm Coach Prime, if I'm Colorado staff, I'm thinking like, man, we gotta find some guys that want to make plays in these situations. We gotta find the right personnel, the right fit for these guys. Maybe we're not putting you guys in the right place to make plays. I'll give you an example. In the goal line set, I was wondering why we have what I would consider pass rush defensive ends in the goal line situation. Me, if I got a lot of pass rush defensive end, I'm going to bring in more defensive tackles and move them outside, let them play the run from the outside position over their offensive tackles, right? Now I got 4 down linemen that's looking to play the run rather than 2, and the other 2 just, in an uncomfortable position, not at their strength to play a pass rather than playing a run. They're more pass rush guys than run stoppers, so you got to put them in that position to be successful. Bring in big. I would like to see if I'm in goal line, especially inside the 1 yard line, I would like to see my 4 down linemen not be Derek McClendon, not be Alton Arden Walker, not be. I wanted to be Bishop. I wanted to be Amari McNeil. I wanted to be Chaz Wallace. I wanted to be Shane Cokes. I wanted to be another big guy I'm missing probably right now, but that's who I wanted to be across the line. You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal line defense. You feel me? And I think that our goal line defense might be a little bit light. So that's why we gave up touchdown runs where the guy went in untouched on the goal line. Come on, coach. I don't mean coach. I'm talking about that's how we talk. Coach. Everybody's coach. You coach. I'm coach. They coach. You all coach. I call my daughter coach sometimes. Come on, coach. So that's where I'm going with it, man. Just some questions that need to be asked as far as stopping and run. I think stopping and run is an attitude on defense. That's something you got to come with pre-game. You know what I'm saying? You got to step into the arena with the attitude of, we're not here to play no games. We're stopping and run, hitting everything in the mouth. So just an outstanding game. We gave up our 300 plus yards before halftime. Goodness gracious. 300 for the set for halftime. They will win a game or 2 that they're not supposed to win, possibly starting this week. 8 wins being good bowl game. Yeah, that's unbelievable coming from worst team in D1 last year. I agree with that. 8 win will be a great bowl game. I want to see Coach Prime on the last possible game played this season. I know Coach Prime want to play on or around New Year's Eve time or Christmas time where everybody is really watching. That's why he want to have that bowl game for sure. What happened to the Heisman quarterback? Hey man, people have tough games and you got to protect the Heisman quarterback. I got a film that they copyrighted me on YouTube, so I took it down. But my film is showing Shedeur Sanders. First of all, great job by Oregon as far as disguising and confusing the offensive line. That's what they did in the past situations for Colorado. They confused the offensive line, mainly the offensive tackles. How did they do that, Chico, you might ask? Well, they showed guys coming off the end as rushers, but really didn't bring those guys. All right. They had 7 guys in the box, but they showed 7 rushing, or they showed 6 rushing, but then they brought 5, right? With the guy from the outside lining up over the wide receiver, the inside slot guy, he blitzes. The guy on the end of the line drops. The guy on the end of the line drops right there. Now you having the tackles not blocking anyone. They double team, and now you got 4 guys blocking 2. A running back staying in the block. When in essence, if the right call is made on the offensive line, just your offensive lineman can block. You have a man on man. You have only 5 rushers. You got 5 offensive linemen. Theoretically, you should be able to block a 5-man rush. Great job, Oregon, by putting together that scheme. They had guys fake blitzing and then dropping. Then you bring the 2 guys over the middle. So now you're having to make a decision. You got rushers coming right up the middle on Shedeur Sanders and fast rushers on the outside. So that escapability is not going to be as much where you'll see Shedeur get rid of those tackles or those defensive linemen. Not when you got a defensive back blitzing. You feel me? So you have to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage, the correct calls from the offensive lineman. But that is very hard to do when you got Guys looking like they're coming on the outside, but they really don't come, and the other guys come. So you might have a Roger call, but it should be a Lucy call or a Lee call, and then boom, you're getting your quarterback hit in the mouth. Now, as an offensive coordinator, you say, well, why don't you call something where she do it, get rid of the ball real quick? Well, you can have that call, but if the offensive lineman is not blocking in that way, then you're going to have your quarterback still get hit in the mouth, right? This is what's going on. A lot of people want to see Coach Prime lose, of course. What did it say? Will H says 500,000 views on Coach Prime's press conference after 2 hours. A lot of people want to know how he handles the L, and the way he handles the L is nice. It's not it's not panicking. He came out there and told the truth. He came out there and said we just took an old fashioned butt whooping, just got served a hot bunch of L's, right? So what do you say? Laugh out loud. You sound like you should be coaching the Buff. Hey man, they pay me attention and I'll go out there and coach. They pay me attention, I'll go out there and coach. You feel me? But Warren Sapp is going to be a help, I think, because he's going to bring that intensity on that offensive line. No way Warren Sapp would be sitting on that sideline letting them get beat up and down the field without getting in somebody's face and damn near spitting on them. You know what I'm saying? In a good way. So I think that'll help. But all in all, that attitude is what missing. That attitude is what missing. You said I sound like I should be coaching. I tell you one thing, I'll be an asset and not a liability. You feel me? He needs to start running the ball. He's too focused on throwing downfield and sits there and gets sacked. Man, nobody's sitting there and getting sacked at all when you got rushers coming in. I wish I could show you all these plays. I wish I could I show you all these plays? But you got rushers coming in and just no time to throw. And then the DBs, I saw one play, you're running across a route, and the DBs are getting mauled across the line of scrimmage. That they did a great job of that too, getting hands on the DB, not just letting them run freely. They had, instead of the mesh being clean, the mesh they get in there and they don't know who's going to go underneath, who's going to go on top. That messes up the timing of Shedeur Sanders. Once again, he's back there in the backfield waiting for these guys to get open. The offensive lineman not blocking long enough, bam, getting hit in the mouth. That's where the sacks come from. That's why Coach Prime said he got to wait and see and look at the film on the flight home. Well, I'm telling you, I just looked at a few plays right now from the highlights, and you can see the protection was not there. And it's not just on the players, it's also on the calls or the protections that's coming. They're confusing them on the defensive side. Great scheme by the defensive coordinator from Oregon. You got to give it to him. But the offensive line will have to pick that up. If I'm only coming with 5 guys rushing and I get to the quarterback with 2 of them, right? That means you guys are confused. Y'all blocking the wrong person. Y'all double teaming one guy and leaving another guy coming free. You understand? That's what I'm saying. Everybody's saying that. Look, Art Crawley saying, hey, Chico, it's just one game. I like your outlook and how you explain things. I still believe in our team, and we'll make the right adjustments for the next game go up. That's all it is. Is looking at everything, making adjustments, and going from there. You get exposed at some point, just like boxing. Coach Prime said you got 2 heavyweight fighters or whatever. You know, it don't mean that somebody wasn't ready or somebody is the greater caliber, more talented. No, you just get hit in the mouth sometimes. And you go back, you reevaluate, you go back to the drawing board, and you say, okay, this is how we got beat. Well, we won't be exposing that again, because this is what football is. Football, amongst anything else, is a copycat league, especially from a coach's perspective, especially from a philosophy perspective. You'll see one team being successful at one thing, and then you better believe that the next team will see that and do the same thing and exploit them on that. Oklahoma loving $2 on the $2 on the super chat. We appreciate it. It is easy for these internet coaches to say, I agree. Just call me a keyboard coach like Dave Cohen. I could be a keyboard coach, but guess what? I once upon a time got paid to coach and play. So I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. All right. Kamani got a big hit at the end. Yeah, Kamani is a guy. All right, let's get on the subject of Kamani McLean right quick. All right, he made a play, and the key with Kamani McLean is I think that he is more than just a practice player. Of course, people say, "Oh, you see him on the Willow video? He getting burned, he getting stiff arm, he getting that." Well, some guys you just got to put on the field, let him play, and get in the ball game. And that's what happened. He got on the punt team. That fake punt went right at him. Right, he didn't make the play initially, but his instincts kicked in, and he went and tackled the big 300-pound guy. Boom, went underneath him, got him down, and he popped up, and you could tell he was like, "Okay, damn, all right, I didn't make the play in the backfield, but I made the tackle. I can play out here on this field. It's not too big for me." Sometimes that's all you need, right? Sometimes that's what you need. You got to be able to hear or see yourself making a play on the field and then get that confidence. And now the coach can put you out there. Now you can play faster than what you would have had you not had that. A lot of kids just need to get out there and play ball. And, you know, that's what happened at the end. He was just out there on the field playing football and boom, got a big hit. I felt like they shouldn't have brought out Austin earlier and not just in mop-up duty. I think you're trying to say I think they should have. I think they should have started Alto McCaskill. What's the point of bringing him in late in the game? What, just to get him some carries for the game? What, do that at the beginning then? I don't know. That's me. I'm starting the big fella, especially for pass protection, especially because to set a tone. You saw at the end of the game. Don't nobody want to hit no one in the world, whether you play offense or defense, want to hit a 6'1", 215-pound mean running back running at you for 4 quarters. Don't nobody want to do it. Nobody wants to do it. I don't care who. Ray Lewis will tell you, I don't want to do that. I will do it. I'll force myself to do it. But does he want to do that? No. Is he going to be happy doing it? No. Would you rather tackle Dylan Edwards or a smaller running back? Yes. All right. That's why you put Alto McCaskill in there and give him the ball and let him run like you saw him doing mop-up duty and see how he feels at the beginning of the game. Then you can go to him late in the game. I think coach really wanted to bust out something with Dylan Edwards. They wanted to go speed on speed, but I think that guy would have been somebody to watch out of the backfield, Alto McCaskill. Going back to Kamani McLean, I just think that he's one of those guys as a gamer. Put him in the game, he could make that play. For instance, in the position that Travis J was in, who I don't think was in his head was 100% ready to go out there, just for the game speed. I think Kamani McLean could have been in that situation and possibly even made that play. As far as Travis J goes, you saw him try to make a tackle, didn't wrap up, and the guy went a little bit forward, saw him jump up, clap his hands like that a little bit. Then you saw him come right back, boom, kind of get out of position to make a tackle, boom, got a face mask call on him, right? And then came up in press coverage, didn't really get a good press, boom, touchdown over the top of him. All of these plays are not indicative of Travis J and the type of player he is. What it does tell me is, though, that I don't think he was ready to go 100%, and coaches needed him to go out there. I wouldn't say coaches needed him to go out there. I'd say I don't think he was ready to go 100% in his head for real, but he wanted to play. And it's just one of those things where you have to come back from those injuries and you have to be mentally ready also. And some things are just a little bit slower when you're not there and you haven't played full speed in the game in a while. Will he get better throughout the season? Will they continue to let him play? Yeah, because he's that player. You're going to see him make plays throughout the season. Watch. As the season goes on, Travis J will get 100% better than what you saw out there today. Don't worry about it. That's me telling you this. I believe that. All right. That's the type of player he is. You're going to see some big plays from him. I was surprised to see him matched up like that at the cornerback position, though, knowing he was just coming off a knee injury. And if I'm the coach, I'm going right at him to see how healthy he is. All right. Kamani McLean needs to start next week. I don't know if he needs to start, but I know he needs to play a lot better, in my opinion, especially with Travis not being there. Give Kamani a chance to be that guy because we know USC going to throw that ball. At least give them a chance, and they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Kamani McLean should be on the field. Not too terribly mad at how Amarion Cooper played. Made some great tackles. Came up and showed up in those run plays a lot. and those long screen type plays. Did a great job out there. Number 3. Let me see here. I would just overall though, special teams need to switch up a lot of things. I just don't understand how many times in life have you ever seen PATs get blocked this many times on one team. From spring, where we saw 2, to fall practice, where I think we saw 1 in the scrimmage, to the games where we've seen multiple point after attempt, just so much pressure. It's like we got a JV team on the field goal unit. Why is that such a problem? Never in my life have I ever seen that be such a problem, to see special teams PAT somebody get their hand on the ball so much. Pause. Somebody get blocks so much. Somebody gets so much penetration. It got to be either we're picking the wrong people or we teaching the wrong thing. You feel what I'm saying? We picking the wrong people. Much love, Oklahoma loving. We're picking the wrong people, personnel wise. Are we teaching the wrong dang thing, man? The wrong thing, man. I think which one is it? Right? What do y'all think it is? Because special teams is all about personnel. You the special teams coach. You get to pick who you want on here, on there. I want you in this position, and this is what we're gonna do. I played special teams point after attempt probably every year of my football career. I was on that somehow, some way. The end guy on the line, on the left side or the right side. Not one time do they tell you to block out. They tell you to block down, protect your inside, because that's where the pressure comes from. We've been seeing these guys block out too much. I don't understand that. Is this some new age stuff? Where they do that at? I never seen them teach that in my life. RIP to my special teams coach at the time, Coach Pat Sullivan, who picked me out and said, I want you on my hands team and my kickoff return and my PAT. You feel what I'm saying? It's personnel and it's attitude. You can't be on special teams point after attempt thinking that it's a playoff. You got guys on the other end trying to get some stats and make a block, dog. These are points you taking off the board. There's no need for my kickers to listen. If you get 3 pressures, point after attempt pressures, not even blocks throughout a year, that's a lot on some teams. That's a whole lot. Man, if I get 3 blocks throughout a year on special teams, I'm looking at something. I'm having a meeting with my special teams coach and I'm saying, dog, we doing something wrong, dog. What in the world going on? How in the world we get this many blocks on PAT? Do we have the wrong people out there, or are we teaching the wrong thing? Which one is it? Let me know. Because I got to find an answer, dog. This got to be like breathing. This got to be like walking. This got to be like the air. You know what I'm saying? This got to be like automatic. We got good kickers. We got Feely and Alejandro Mala. How in the world are we not excellent on special teams? Right? That's what I'm speaking on. Special teams, offensive line, right? Not picking up the correct blitzes and sacks or blitzes and protections, right? The scheme as far as throwing so many screen passes and sideline passes and even just taking them back out of the backfield so Shador can have a cleaner look at the offensive or the defensive front and the pressures coming. I think that's when he can see even better where the running back goes outside, and now he can see, okay, we got 5 blockers. We know that anything more than 5, boom, we got problems. All right. We got problems. So, just one game. It happens. You go on the road, you get beat, and you get beat handedly. Somebody talking about fire somebody. No, you ain't firing nobody right now. Only thing I am doing, I am having a meeting with all of my coaches, but for sure I'm having a meeting with my special teams coach. For sure I'm having a meeting with my defensive coaches, finding out personnel-wise, because I tell you who played well at the end of the game, who got some stops on them, was the defensive line of Chaz Wallace, J.J. Hawkins, Savale Smalls came in. Arden Walker was that defensive end. J.D. Dominic was that defensive end. Those guys at the end got a stop on them. So, just a lot of missed blocks out there, man. And TD said Kamani said he transferring. Man, y'all just putting stuff out there in the air now. That'd be crazy for that man to talk about transferring. I don't think he is. And I talked to his mom personally, and she's happy with everything that's going on right now as a mom, and as I would be too as a parent. Being that my child is with Coach Prime, coming along slowly. He's not trying to force me. Laugh out loud, really. Ray Lewis, are you kidding me? Wow, a beast. Best linebacker ever. You a fool. I'm a fool. Listen, man. Ray Lewis will tell you, and anybody will tell you, in my opinion, they're not going to enjoy hitting Eddie George and Adrian Peterson over hitting LaDainian Tomlinson. All of them great running backs. But we talking about size. You think somebody want to hit Derrick Henry or they want to hit Austin Eckler? The hell, what? Come on, dog. You go out there and try to tackle somebody, Annabelle Montanez. I've done it. And trust me. You feel me? Let me know in the comments what y'all think. If y'all got something worth saying other than like what we just read right there. I got to stop giving these guys any type of shine. We started 2 safeties at corner. That was a bad idea. I was wondering why Travis J lined up at corner, but we're thin at cornerback right now. With Stoppmeyer being out, Travis Hunter being out. Some of those balls Bo Nix threw up would have been picks by Travis. Simple. The cornerback from Oregon played a great game. Kyrie, what was his name? Kyrie, big long guy, number 5. That boy balled out. Everything they threw his way, he knocked it down. No pass rush. Why not get Smalls in there? Because McClendon, Cokes, Austin don't get any pressure. Well, like I said, Savell Smalls came in and his group was the one who got a stop at the end of the game. And then they brought in the first group back again, and they moved they moved the ball down the field. That was crazy. You can't do anything when the offensive line is not effective in blocking. Exactly. The current O-line lineup is ineffective. It's time to play McCrimmon and Wiltie. Why is Big Jack Wiltie not playing? And why don't you ever see? A lot of times I'm surprised that we don't see adjustments in the game. Like, like you come out and you go in. We don't see a lot of that. It's once they're in the game, it seems like they stay in throughout the whole game. I think that whole offensive line played the whole game. Nobody came out. Shouts out to Big Jeremiah McCrimmon and Big Jack Wiltie, who played well in the games I saw him. Instead of Tank and Bailey on the left side, McCrimmon could possibly play tackle on that left side. Wiltie is a guard. So we have to get better though at getting on the other side of the ball from the defensive standpoint. We got to get pressure. We got to get some penetration at some point in the game. You feel me? Is McCrimmon even with the team? Yeah, he is. He has his jersey. Matter of fact, you can buy his jerseys for sale. I saw him post it. So he has number 66 jersey. There he is. That's his number 66. Bo Travis on Twitch while our team getting bulldozed. Okay. On Well Off Media, they practiced for a little over an hour. How much spent on special teams? I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be more spent on special teams this week. I'll tell you that. Oh, man. Yeah, man. You put 22 in the game. You give your offense another look. That's what I said. Take pressure off your line and your quarterback. Exactly. Izzy Mack, now. The backs they had in today were responsible for the majority of the sacks on 2. Actually, it was the protection setup, and then the backs. Put yourself in this position right here. Now, I'm not saying they're not supposed to. I'm not making an excuse because they're out there. They're supposed to get the job done. But if you're a back and you're coming to block a guy who's blitzing from the second level, which means he's coming from the linebacker depth, full speed, and you're trying to pick him up by catching him, man, come on, dog. That's not going. You need a bigger size back doing that, whether it's a tight end or big Alton McCaskill. Even if he was just pass blocking, I would have had him in the game as a bigger back to pick those guys up. The guy ran through my guy Hankerson. He ran through my dog Hankerson, ran through Dylan Edwards. Edwards made a good effort one time picking up the middle linebacker blitzing right up the middle in the A gap. That's hard to do, especially as a young freshman, 180-pound freshman maybe. Come on, man. You could have had Smoke in there for that, or McCaskill, or even Savion like Le'Veon Wilkerson, man. So it was just, personnel is one thing that's huge. And I think they're still working through it, trying to find who's going to work best together. So, I think the scheme, well, let me see. Under Sean Lewis, Kent State quarterback Dustin Crum had 161 rushing attempts for 700 yards and 12 TDs in 2021. It's a read option based offense. They should have ran more to read option. That worked at the end of the game. It should have been a lot of more read option RPOs. That worked at the end of the game. But I just think personnel wise, McCaskill should have been there. If they wanted to see how good he could play, let him do it at the beginning of the game. I think they waited a little bit too late to get him in the game because he's a dog waiting to be unleashed. I think USC gonna get the best of him. Salute Big Dog Chico. I thought their scheme today would be to shorten the game and give Oregon less possessions. I believe that shootout with TCU gave Bus offensive coordinator too much confidence. I think also the guys were in Texas, in the heat, in the South, more in their element than a lot of people realize, and they went down there and balled out. I think going out west, it was a lot different, muggy in Oregon. That's why it's so hard to play there. You can't discount how hard it is to play there. Great scheme by the offensive coordinator to basically say we average 7 yards a carry anyway before coming into this game. This team is giving up 5, per game or per rush in the running game. Theoretically, all we got to do is just keep running the ball. If we get 4 yards per carry, we'll score a touchdown, right? Well, hell, we averaging 5 to 7. You feel me? I'd be a fool to come in and not try to run the ball if I'm the offensive coordinator. Defensive wise, I'd be crazy not to try to confuse the protection of the offensive line, which is exactly what they did, right? And get physical with the wide receivers. That's going to be the MO for the next games coming up. Get physical with those wide receivers, especially on the crossing routes. Bump them if they come across. In other words, try to mess up their timing, because the whole thing about this offense and Shador dropping back, making the pass is what? Timing. If you don't know yet, now you know. It's all about timing. All right. If you can mess up the timing of the wide receivers and you know that you have a weak offensive line, because theoretically that's why you would want to throw off timing, because your offensive linemen, they're not that great, right? So you need to get rid of the ball fast. So it need to be timing. Everything need to be timing, right? So if everything needs to be timing, and you know you have a suspect offensive line, well, if I'm the defensive coach, I'm gonna say, okay, my game plan is to disrupt the timing, right? That's gonna enable my defensive line to get by that suspect offensive line, right? That's football 101. That's counter punching. You feel me? Simple as that. That's why it's chess, not checkers, dog. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you saw that those defensive backs come up and press Xavier Weaver, press and disrupt those crossing routes. Everything they wanted to do, make it be the timing just be off, and our defensive line and our blitzers will eventually get there. It happens. We'll go back and look at the film. We'll get over it. We'll move on to the next one. We'll get better on the next game. And I think we'll be able to go from there. You feel me? Shouts out to all the super chats coming in. I appreciate it. All the donations coming in. I appreciate it. Somebody asked what my Cash App was. It's Speed Hustle TV. All together. Matter of fact, let me just type it in right there just in case you ask for it. But if not, I appreciate just hitting the like button and sharing this thing and letting people know you're rocking with your dog after the game. All the people who want to ha-ha and laugh and boo-hoo or whatever, what happened, those things happen, man. You play football games, you win some, you lose some. My mama used to tell me that all the time. I used to hate it when she used to tell me that. Son, don't get mad. You win some, you lose some. I used to be like, be quiet. Trying to win all of them. Trying to win all. What the heck you mean? You win some, you lose some. But you live. You live to fight another day. You know what I'm saying? So what Joel Klatt said, Joel Klatt mentioned this on his show last week. O-line can't match up with good D-lines, especially with a good scheme. You feel what I'm saying? Prime can't coach. What do you say? Prime can't coach a good coach. What? Prime can't coach a good coach would have come out of after halftime with adjustments. They kept doing the same crap. Come on, dog. You just trolling now, TD. Corey said, "You're a real one. I appreciate you being down. Skull Buff. No, hey, appreciate you, Corey. All right. Y'all will enjoy it. Type Prime if you're riding with Coach Prime. You feel me? Type Prime if you're riding with Coach Prime. All right. Just a keyboard coach letting y'all know. Yeah, I got paid to do it. Yeah, I got paid to do it. But hey, as of right now, I guess just a keyboard coach for Colorado. But I am making that jump to Boulder, Colorado, and get busy where it's colder. Out in Boulder, yes, I'm going out there. I'm making the investment. I'm doing it, and I'll be there real soon. Shouts out to everybody who's going to the USC game. You'll see more content coming from me. Well, there's just, I ain't gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, but whatever it is, you're gonna see more content coming from me out in Boulder, man. You feel what I'm saying? Shouts out to Pearl Street and everybody out there getting busy. Shouts out to my dog Country Tone. Y'all check that out. Yeah, we got a lot of trolls in the content or in the chat, but we're not worried about it. Everybody else, man, y'all riding with who you're riding with. But if you're riding with the Buffs, y'all already know how we doing it, man. It's Skull Buffs, man. It's Skull Buffs. Shouts out to my dog Lawrence Vickers. We up and we about this lane. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah.